shouldn't have to tell anybody this, but they're fucking puppets, okay? Puppets don't have gender. Puppets don't have genitals. Puppets don't have relationships. They're not real creatures. They're not intimate partners or creatures or people. They're felt. They're felt and glue and fuzz on top of their fucking heads. They aren't even heads. They're puppets. Oh boy. Oh my god. So my name is Mecha Random 42. You might also know me as Random Game User 42, and I have been kind of wanting to find words just to kind of describe my feelings on this whole Bert and Ernie are gay, but he's not, but they are, but they're not. Frank Oz has even said they're not gay. They're puppets. Oh boy. And you know what? Oh boy, let me get rid of the picture there. I don't know how sometimes to start these rants, because there's so many things I want to say and so many ways to tackle this. The most important thing I can think of is you have characters on a children's show that is there to teach friendship, numbers, like basic numbers, like 1, 2, 3, letters of the alphabet. You know, I remember Sesame Street telling me you don't hit your dog, you pet them, or, you know, really little kid stuff. This is kindergarten and preschool. This is like 6-year-old kid stuff. 6-year-old kids don't understand mommy and daddy in their relationship, let alone daddy and daddy in their relationship, let alone, you know, mommy's out with the girls one night sort of relationship. They don't understand. They think everything as friendship, you know, and that this is why we don't need Bert and Ernie to be gay, because this is not at the age appropriate level for them to understand and to learn. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't like kids. I can't stand them. But at the same time, you cannot go around sexualizing and projecting onto a child's show that the puppets are gay. I mean, and if you really need that sort of representation in your life, if you are that uncomfortable with your own homosexuality that you need Bert and Ernie to be gay, let them be gay in your head canon. Who cares? This is why stuff like this is ambiguous all the time. So that you don't piss off the people who think they're gay, you don't piss off the people who think they're straight. It's a fucking puppet show for children. They don't need to understand complex sexual adult relationships. They don't need to understand complex gender identity sort of relationship issues. They just need to know that they're friends and they're different, and they one is grumpy and one is cheerful, one is messy, one is a neat freak. It's the fucking Odd Couple. We don't need to bring sex into something for preschoolers. I'm sorry. We don't need to bring that in there. And I know I'm going to come across very conservative, and I'm really not. I'm really not that conservative. You know, I am a member of the LGBT community. I am bisexual, and this is one of those things that I have never needed to justify my sexuality, except on YouTube apparently and Twitter. You know, when I deal with my own issues in my own life, I can deal with that by seeing role models in my own age-appropriate way. And yeah, I've watched stuff that I probably shouldn't have and had no idea what was going on when I was a kid as well. So that's like... That's just something that it boggles my mind why people need them to be gay. You know, we never had a straight answer on Xena Warrior Princess if Xena and Gabrielle were lovers. You know, we knew that they had a deep love for each other, and they were probably banging because they were naked in hot tubs all the time. You know, we could identify that with that as you know, myself, especially as a teenage, you know, bisexual girl coming up in the 90s. And yeah, you will find things to identify with. We will never have 100% representation. I don't need it on Sesame Street, you know? I don't look at Cookie Monster like he's a real person. I don't look at the Count like he's a real person. These are puppets. Puppets don't have sex. Puppets are there to teach children colors, letters, numbers, not what's in between people's legs. I mean, it's fine if you want to put that on a more age-appropriate show, you know, or make a whole episode dedicated to it, something. But don't just insist, and don't attack Frank Oz if he says they're not gay. You know, this is a children's show. This isn't the raunchy Muppet show that they used to have. This isn't Meet the Feebles. This isn't Avenue Q. This isn't Happy Time Murders. We have age appropriate levels of character development that we can deal with. And I hate coming across like super conservative here, but you got to understand the facts. You know, this is exactly the same sort of thing that they're doing. I see all the time on Twitter where people have their little gender pronouns in parentheses, and they'll say, oh, he, him, or she, her. Like, you know what? If your gender is that much of a deal to you, if it's that big of a deal, then I demand you drop trow right now and tweet out a picture of what's in between your legs, since that's all that's important about you. You know, same thing with Captain fucking Marvel. The only thing I ever see that's important about her is that she's a woman. Great. I don't care what's in between your legs unless I'm in bed with you and I need to know whether to suck or lick, or, you know, or do both. I mean, I suppose girls like being sucked too. But the point is, I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what's in between the legs of my superheroes or my puppets. I don't care who they're in bed with. I don't care who who they identify with sexually. I don't need 100% representation in anything. I will find characters to identify with, because I am never going to find a 39-year-old bisexual redheaded robot built by Doomcock in anything other than my own YouTube channel to identify with 100%. That is just, that baffles me that you need this justification and this representation all of a sudden in media and things. Like, I always found representation where I needed it. I found representation in strong female characters and strong male characters. I found my own inner sort of supervillain tendencies myself in a lot of the really bad guy, awesome, amazing characters in Babylon 5. Yes, and guess what? They might have penises. Shocking, I know. I actually identify with more characters that have penises sometimes than vaginas. And you know what? It doesn't matter. If the character is written well enough, it doesn't fucking matter. And I don't care who they're sleeping with. I don't care, unless it's important to their story arc. You know, and if it's in an age-appropriate show, that's fine. You can have sex. You can have people in and out of bed with each other. You can have complex adult relationships being explained in adult shows or teenage up. You know, you got to keep stuff age appropriate, because at this, you know, on the one hand, kids only understand certain to a certain extent of what they're being shown on Sesame Street, even, you know, but on the other hand, the kids are a little bit smarter than you give them credit for. If they think Bert and Ernie are gay, they're going to come to you and ask you. They're going to say, hey, mommy, are Bert and Ernie like, you know, uncles, you know, Steve and Joey over there? And yeah, that's going to be something that they're going to bring up to you. You know, I know damn well if Sesame Street had gay characters when I was a kid and my mother decided that she needed to teach me about it, it would have been an awkward, uncomfortable conversation, and it would have really resorted to, yeah, thanks, I already know. I already know all that. I know the difference. I know what's going on, because I was a smart kid. Kids are not that stupid. They will read into it what they need to read into it if they are age appropriate to understand what's going on. Oh boy, what do you guys think? And you know, do you think Bert and Ernie being gay is not harmful to anybody? Do you think I'm overreacting? Do you agree with me? Do you think that we need to keep the sex out of Sesame Street? Oh boy, this is definitely kind of one of those. It's a conglomeration of a lot of little stupid issues that I've seen over the last week, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I have Patreon, I have Twitter. I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!